It's insanely hot the last few days. Portugal is burning, the sky is grey with all the ash and smoke, which means it's the perfect time to harvest and sun-dry everything that we want to sun-dry. The pear trees look extremely good this year compared to last year. And we already got about 8 kilos off the trees, and it looks like there's another probably 8 kilos on there. And because pears ripen from the inside out, like I said in another video, it's important that we harvest them a bit too early so we can sun dry them and they don't go bad on the tree.
Yeah, I'm coming down.
Yeah.
Mainly poo on the side. And they store longer than this.
As good as any grape pear I've ever had.
Yeah, they're just falling off at this point really as well. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, we should get our, like our scale thing. To weigh the olives. See how much
I
we
weighed
get.
it already, so like
Huh?
up the hill I got 10 kilos of like 5 kilos today, 4 kilos yesterday.
Got a signal here.
I'm gonna go up really soon.
This year was the first time we managed to grow corn and sorghum successfully. We saved most of the seed for next year, but we did get to enjoy some sweet corn from the grill and some heirloom black popcorn every once in a while. Because I was working most days and Zach was busy with the house and land, we froze a ton of our produce. Most of the sauce tomatoes, our beans and the foraged berries were put in the freezer. Late in the season, it was easy to find the time to make a big batch of sauce or jam. We actually didn't grow that many cherry tomatoes this year because we kind of focused more on the sauce, and the ones that were not eaten directly off the plant, we put in the solar dehydrator that Zach built. This is a prototype we're hoping to improve next year, but it worked really, really well.
I took all the elderberries off the stems with a fork now. I do leave some of the smaller stems in. I don't think it matters a lot if you leave them in because you're going to strain it afterwards anyways when you make the syrup. I don't have time to make syrup these days, so I will just freeze them. And let's just see how much we got here. That's like 1.5 kilos of elderberries. I think that's going to make quite a lot of syrup. So I'm going to put them into, oh shit, did that rip at the bottom? I'll put them into these bags in 500 gram, like at 500 grams each bag, because then when I make syrup, I can easily just take like 1 pack out or 2 packs and make a small batch. Because the syrup, because we don't have a pressure can or anything like that, so we can't really make syrup very long lasting. And if I make it, I will make like a small batch at a time and then use that up and then make some more. I don't think I've ever had this many elderberries. In Germany, when I was collecting from wild trees, and I had to be careful that they're not right next to a road. So it was always kind of like more like 500, 700 grams. This is more than I've ever had before, which is really cool. Yeah, maybe I'll make a small portion tonight actually, because I don't know if you can hear, but we're sick again with some Crash disease that was passed on to us. So yeah, I'll just pack these berries into the bags now, freeze them, and then get them out whenever I need it. It is mid-August now, and this is kind of like the status update. This is only half of what we harvested. Most of it is still like in the freezer, but we did process 40 kilos of pears in total. We dried most of it. We made some compote and some jam, of which we have mostly eaten already as well. And oh, it's so hot today. And out of the scraps, I made some vinegar and some wine that we have like 3 more liters of vinegar. When the quince comes into season, I'm gonna make some more scrap vinegar. It's very easy to make, and it lasts us quite a long time. So that's like naturally fermented. I have a huge batch in the basement still that needs to be bottled. So yeah, we dried 40 kilos of pear, of which we have given away quite a bit as well. This is
a quarter of our blackberry harvest. We have a very amazing volunteer staying with us right now who just picks kilos and kilos of wild blackberries for us. So this is about, well, this is 1 kilo, 2 kilos. So this is about 3.5 kilos of blackberries, I think. And these are like 2 kilos of tomatoes that we fill into 750 ml jars. And we will use smaller jars for the tomato sauce in the next batch when we gathered enough to make it worth it and have like a bit of a canning day. But yeah, I'm very happy. These are all also water bathed, not just like I grew up with the flip method, you know, like you fill like the hot jam into the jar, flip it. Some very angry Americans on canning Reddit have informed me that I will kill my family doing this. So the jam has all been water bathed as well as poured into the jars boiling hot. So I hope it will last a long time. Same with the tomato sauce, we're doing that now. And yeah, I think over the next 2 weeks we're going to make even more jam. We have about 3 kilos of plums still in the freezer as well that needs to be turned into jam, and like 6 more kilos of blackberries, and there'll probably be a tiny bit more before our volunteer leaves us. So yeah, I would say this is a very successful year so far. And in the blink of an eye, summer was over. The rains came back, and it didn't stop for weeks, which meant it was time to make jam out of our frozen fruit and harvest the abandoned quince trees in the area. My sister came to visit, and although she expected a holiday, we did put her to work roasting and peeling chestnuts by the kilos. In between rains, we also managed to collect over 100 kilos of olives this year. Because we shared the oil with our neighbours, we got about 15 litres of oil for ourselves, which is a huge improvement to last year's 2 litres, to be honest. It also shows that none of this work is supposed to be done alone. We always fare better as a community and with help. No one lives off the land by themselves. Welcome to the basements that we have not gotten to so far in our renovations and will not get to for another few years. But for now, it's like our food storage in here because it's always nice and cool down here. And behind me is our shelf full of preserves. It is now the beginning of November and it's just about the season for mushrooms. And we're still drying loads of them, but the season for fruit is basically over. I might make some orange marmalade in the coming months when the oranges come into season. But until then, this behind me is what we have. We've been really eating what we have there already. So what you see behind me is only like a small fraction of what we actually made this summer. And it's been a really good year. Like without the help of our volunteers and friends and family, we wouldn't have gotten as much, but it definitely gives us an idea of what we're capable of just foraging
in the next few years when we have a bit more time, when building projects are a bit lower in the to-do list. We did dry quite a lot of porcini mushrooms, which we stored in jars now. And we have about 15 litres of olive oil from our village here that we collected, which I'm really happy with. We have like a demijohn full of vinegar, scrap vinegar. It's not good for cleaning, but it is really nice, like in water, in salads. And we're gonna definitely use that up this year, I think. We've really been working our way through our dried pear. That's really shrunk down in size, the stash that we had of that, but not bad, you know. We also have a freezer full of goods still. There's about 7 kilos of peeled and vacuum sealed chestnuts in there that Zach is kind of working on currently to make into flour, half of it, and the other half we're going to keep for eating. And we also raised 4 meat chickens this year, which was a bit of a trial for us just to see if we can do it. We're definitely not gonna like really scale up meat production. We're just not big meat eaters, but it's nice, you know, to have that chicken meat in the freezer. And we do have chicken as a meal occasionally. We're making loads of bone broth now that it's winter time and the range is on all day. So it's just like really slow cooked bone broth, really nice to eat now that we're kind of constantly getting sick. But yeah, all in all, very happy with how this year turned out and looking forward to next year and foraging again.